Greg, I remember us having an in-depth interview when you hung up your TNS boots for the final time. You were then contemplating a number of different challenges within the club. One of them has been the position of assistant manager within the women's setup. How's that been going for you personally?
I loved it, to be honest. Yeah, it's been something completely new. Obviously, never worked with the women's side of things before. So yeah, it's been a big challenge. But I'm just sort of lucky with the role that I've got. That I've got the opportunity to work with so many different groups of players. I was doing the under-11s last night. I'm doing the under-19s in a minute, and then obviously the women as well. So from a coaching point of view, I'm very lucky that I've been in a position to be able to work with so many groups, and it's only going to sort of benefit me as a coach.
And it goes without saying that it was a disappointing result last Sunday against Aberystwyth Town.
Yeah, no, look, we went there looking for 3 points minimum. Really, we beat them early on in the season at home with one of our best performances of the season, I think. They've climbed the table. They're in they've sort of been floating around fourth or fifth for the majority of the season. So they're a decent team, but we knew what we were going to get from them. We knew that if we turned up and everyone was at the top of their game, that we'd have a very good chance of coming away with 3 points. First half, I thought we were very good. Second half, we just dropped off ever so slightly, and they punished us with one of the only chances that they had in 90 minutes.
And you mentioned the table, and the New Saints women actually sit bottom. You won't need reminding of that with 4 points. Barry Town United ladies just above TNS with 6. Port Talbot ladies have 9 points. Is it true to say that Sunday's game against Port Talbot is as much a must not lose game as it is a must win one?
Look, we're at home. First and foremost, we make sure that we pick up at least a point. But this is a team that we've only played once so far. But again, we reflecting on that game down there. That was a game that sort of got away from us. 3 points were there for the taking. Similar to Aberystwyth on Sunday, we were very good in the first half against Port Talbot. 6 weeks ago, whenever it was. Second half, we just didn't come out, unfortunately, and they punished us for not being quite at it in the second half. I know what our team's capable of, and I know what Port Talbot's capable of, and I know that on our day we were far too much for them. It's just a case of making sure that we turn up with intensity and start minute one on the front foot, and we'll be all right. But it's all right saying that. We've been saying it for a long time now. It's it's got to the point now where we've got to go out and do it, and get 3 points by the end of 90 minutes.
And looking back over the season so far, obviously the results haven't been what you would have wanted. But what about the performances in general?
Look, I think there's been some really good performances. If you compared us now to our first game of the season, it's that first game of the season, second game of the season, where I think we got beat 7-2, something like that, against Barry. We were sort of bordering on shambolic. Those sort of performances. Now it's we've come on leaps and bounds. But at the end of the day, it's about picking up points. We're in an elite league. There's a chance there to qualify for the Champions League. Bottom team get relegated. So it doesn't matter about performances. It's about picking up 3 points and climbing the table. So that's all we're focusing on now, really. Performance-wise, there's been some great performances, especially against the top 3 teams, who are by far miles ahead of the rest of the league. I'll be honest, Swansea are streets ahead of Cardiff Met and Cardiff City, but those 2 Cardiff teams are well ahead of everyone else. We've had some really good performances against them. Cardiff Met last week were 2-1 up at half time. Somehow in about 17-19 minutes we managed to concede 5 goals, but you take that period of the match outside of that, I think it was one of our best performances as a team and individually. A lot of individuals had their best game in that game. We're on the right tracks. It's obviously just important now that we do get that result on Sunday. The longer we go without wins, obviously the harder it is to keep these players motivated and, you know, turning up every week for training and turning up every Sunday for the matches, because you know, at the end of the day they're not professional, they're not getting paid for it, so it's hard to keep them motivated, you know, when you're not getting results, which is at the end of the day what everyone plays football for, is to win games. So yeah, it's a challenge, but, you know, we're going to stick at it, and you know, I'm sure as long as everyone keeps applying themselves, then you know, we'll turn that corner.
And you mentioned a couple of times there, Greg, the need to keep players motivated. What's the general mood in the camp like, and how do yourself, Sarah and Andy keep the heads up, believing that they can win the next game?
I think it's you know, it comes from the players as well, to be honest. You know, despite the results, they are you know, they are continuing to work hard, which is obviously the most important thing. You know, the minimum that you got to do is work hard and give 100%, which is happening at the moment. You know, we've got some players in that changing room who are, you know, quite vocal, and they're sort of getting behind the rest of the players. You know, the thing is, it's, you look at the average age group of the team, it's a very young group of players, so it's you know, a new situation for a lot of those players. So yeah, it's just a case of, you know, like, you just got to be positive. You know, we go through every game, go through clips, and like I say, there's a lot of positives to take from these games. So that's all we're reinforcing really, is those positive moments, and you know, it's just a case of us backing up those positive moments for sort of 90 minutes rather than just sort of 45 minutes to an hour, which is what we're tending to do at the moment. And in those sort of 30 minutes, 45 minutes where we're not quite at it, they're costing us. So that's just the general message really, is, you know, keeping that 100% focus for 90 minutes.
And before the game against Port Talbot ladies on Sunday, a couple of training sessions. How important will they be in terms of finalising your game plan, your tactics, and maybe your starting 11?
Yeah, massive. You know, it's you know, good that we've got the opportunity to train twice. I know in the past they've only sort of been able to train once, but now, you know, we can really sort of nail down a lot of tactical coaching, as well as the technical side of it as well, which is obviously what these players need as well, being so young. But, you know, having access to the you know, the game footage and all that to go through clips. We'll obviously go through the Port Talbot game from early on in the season, and, you know, we'll be showing the players that, you know, really they've got nothing to fear. We lost that game 2-0, but, you know, on another day, I know we had a Stonewall penalty when it was 0-0. They've gone down the other end and scored to make it 1-0. On another day, you know, we could have quite easily come away with 3 points. We're at home, we got home advantage. They're going to have to make the difficult journey up here, which isn't nice. Something that they're not used to doing, because obviously all their games are down there. So that's, you know, the main message is, you know, just be at them straight from the kick-off. Don't let them out. Don't let them out their half. Smother them, get the game won as early as possible. And I think we'll be all right.
And finally, Greg, what's the availability of players ahead of the game?
It's probably we're probably getting close to having everyone available for the first time in quite a while, to be honest. Just one niggle that's, you know, James is going to have a look at tonight, but she's done a little bit of light work towards the end of last week, so we're hopeful that, you know, certainly tomorrow she should be able to join in training fully, and then we'll have a full squad to pick from on Sunday.